Welcome everybody to my science channel, and today we are doing the 2017 US National Chemistry Olympiad National Exam Part 3. So you may be wondering why I'm doing this chemistry contest from ACS. Well, honestly I got nothing to do and I couldn't find any suitable materials to carry out in the lab. So I found this and tried to figure it out. And even with this material, I could only do the lab problem 2 because I could not find some of the chemicals in the lab problem 1, like the tablets. So let's see the lab problem 2. In lab problem 2, I was asked to identify 5 chemicals: calcium chloride, sodium carbonate, sodium chloride, sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide. So let's see what I did. You can see that I was preparing for the experiment. In this lab, we have 5 solutions, and each of them has a concentration of 0.5 mol per liter. I planned this experiment like this. I marked it from 1 to 5, and for each round we use 4 of the solutions and add them into the test tubes, and we use the left solution, the left one, to react with those 4 and see what reaction would occur. And in the next round we switch the solutions, like if I'm going to use the 1 to 4 and use the 5 to react them, in the next round I will use 2 and react them with 1, 3, 4, and 5. So now it's the first round. This is the solution number 1 reacting with solution number 2. So we can see there is no reaction occurring. And I actually made a double check by giving it to my teacher, so it was not reacting. And the second solution was reacted with the first solution, and you can see now the white precipitate occurred when I add the solution number 1 to the solution number 3. So yes, we can see the insoluble white precipitate. And now I'm adding solution number 1 to solution number 4. Again, there was no clear observation of reaction. I pick it up so we can see it clearly. There was no reaction. And now we are adding solution number 1 to solution number 4. No, number 5, sorry. So there was a white precipitate, and it has a thicker texture compared to the solution in the test tube number 2. Now we are emptying the test tubes and preparing for the next round. So we have switched the solutions. Now in the test tube number 1 to number 4 are the solutions 1, 3, 4, and 5. And the solution used to react which I was holding, was solution number 2. So solution number 2 has no reaction with solution number 1. And we see that clearly. And solution number 2 produce bubbles with solution number 3, or fizzing if you prefer it that way. And when solution number 2 is added to solution number 4, there was again no clear observation of any reaction, though there might be some ionization occurred, but we cannot see the physical chain, whatever. And the reaction between solution number 2 and solution number 5 was still no reaction. So now we are again emptying all the test tubes and being prepared for the next round. So now in the test tube number 1 to 4, we actually have the solution 1, 2, 4, and 5. And we use the solution number 3 to react with those 4 solutions in the test tube. So the reaction between solution number 1 and solution number 3, we have white precipitation, which is insoluble in the test tube. And when we add solution number 3 to solution number 2, again it makes bubbles. When we add solution number 3 to solution number 4, there was no reaction. And when we add solution number 3 to solution number 5, there's no observation of any reaction. So now is the round 4. We are emptying and cleaning all of the test tubes and add solution 1, 2, 3, and 5 into the test tubes and use the solution number 4 as a reactant to react with all of the solutions in the test tube. A great way of doing this repeating experiment and record all of the data is you can actually compare the data at the end point, so you can see which solution is which substance. So solution number 4 has no reaction with solution number 1, and also it has no reaction with solution number 2. In fact, it has no reaction with all of the solutions. So it makes it the most obvious, the most recognizable solution, which is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride has no reaction with all of those 4 chemicals, so the liquid remains clear and transparent. We are again emptying all of the test tube and cleaning it, and we are adding solution number 1 to 4 into the test tube 1 to 4, and we are using solution number 5 as a reactant to all of the solutions in the test tube. Solution number 5 produced white precipitate with solution number 1. Again, I was doing double check to see whether I've made it wrong. So it's still insoluble white precipitate. And when I added solution number 5 to solution number 2, there was no reaction occurred. And solution number 5 has no reaction with solution number 3 and solution number 4. So now we have recorded all of the possible reaction between those 5 solutions, and we can use those data to make a table and do the analysis. Let's now focus on the messy lab report on your right side. So we can see that when solution number 1 is reacting with solution number 3 or solution number 5, it produces white precipitate. So we can basically say that the precipitate could only be calcium carbonate or calcium hydroxide, which means either solution number 3 or 5 is sodium carbonate or sodium hydroxide. And when we are looking at the reaction between solution number 2 and solution number 3, we produce both. So we can narrow that down to the reaction between sulfuric acid and sodium carbonate, because it's the only reaction that would produce gas, which is carbon dioxide. And now we are sure that solution number 3 is sodium carbonate and solution number 2 is sulfuric acid. And back to the previous reduction, we can then say that solution number 5 is sodium hydroxide. And as I previously stated, solution number 4 has no reaction with all of the other 4 solutions, which means it could only be sodium chloride. And now we are only left with calcium chloride, which is solution number 1. So that's the whole experiment. Thank you for watching.